Hello, and welcome to Chabot News for November 30th, 2023. My name is Jasmine Bester, and today we will be covering an incident that occurred between a Chicago police officer and an elementary school student, a halt in U.S. service from the driverless taxi company Cruise, and a woman who recently celebrated her 107th birthday. In entertainment, India will give us a sneak peek at the upcoming Garfield movie. And finally, in sports news, Greg has details on some outrageously priced fan memorabilia. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. A Chicago police officer is facing charges for allegedly shoving a student outside an elementary school. He had said the child became a danger to those present, but an attorney for the boy says the surveillance video doesn't show that. Leah Pope has the story.
Surveillance video from May 18th outside Gresham Elementary School. We've blurred the faces of other children who are preparing to enter the school. A man attorneys have identified as Officer Craig Lancaster arrives, hugs a woman, and after talking with the woman, Lancaster is seen shoving a student. Lancaster is now charged with aggravated battery in a public way. And Lancaster is the defendant in a federal civil rights lawsuit filed on behalf of the then 14-year-old boy.
He's assaulted, and all he does is kind of back away and put his arms up. Like, what did I do? You can see exactly how he responds. He's just a sweet kid.
Attorney Jordan Marsh, who provided us with the video, represents Jaquan Williams. Williams is the student involved. Marsh says the teen had never seen Officer Lancaster and did not know why the man put hands on him.
How are people supposed to respect police officers when you've got guys like Lancaster running around throttling people, children, for no reason?
The attorney for Officer Lancaster issued a statement saying in part, when the minor child became a danger to the students and the staff, he acted in a manner to protect the children and staff from a student who was clearly a threat to all present. He goes on to say, we look forward to defending this case in court. The attorney for Williams says the video does not show any danger to the public. The matter is being investigated by the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. While Officer Lancaster remains active with the Chicago Police Department, he is due in court next week to face a criminal charge. In Chicago, Leah Hope, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Leah. Officer Craig Lancaster was formerly on the do not hire list before this incident occurred. Hopefully, going forward, educational officials will take more precautions when hiring police officers and other staff members to ensure the safety of their students. Authorities in Nevada have charged 8 juveniles with murder in the beating death of a Las Vegas high school student that was caught on video. It happened on November 1st in an alley near Rancho High School after school let out. 17-year-old victim Jonathan Lewis was placed on life support after the beating. Lewis's father says his son died 6 days later. The father now wants action from the community. Tiffany Lane spoke to him.
Jonathan was an incredible, loving and kind and generous young man. He cared about the people around him.
Jonathan Lewis Sr. is still coming to terms after the death of his son, Jonathan Lewis Jr.
Just an incredible young man who just loved life and loved his family.
The 17-year-old was brutally beaten by around 15 people near his campus, Rancho High School, earlier this month. A video circulating on social media of the teen punching a person and then a group attacking the teen in an alley off campus near Searles and North 21st Street. Lewis Sr. sharing what he was told led to the incident.
He was trying to protect one of his smaller friends. There were some things that were being stolen from him, as we understand it. And he went to kind of defend him, and 3 of them kind of attacked him, and he defended himself, and they couldn't beat him up, so the rest of the group joined in.
Lewis died last Tuesday after being on life support.
It's just like absolute lunacy, and it just looks like these kids have gone totally mad, and they're just totally just possessed by hate and, anger and rage, and just don't have enough love.
Parents and students at Rancho reacting to the news of Lewis's death.
I just think it's kind of scary, like it can happen to anybody, so just have to be careful.
Just hope that, this doesn't happen again, in any school district, and that, no parents have to endure this type of pain for their, child.
Lewis Sr., who works with troubled young youth himself, is now calling for action from the community. He set up a website where he announced he is starting a foundation called Team Jonathan.
You might be able to get the parents to be able to start having some more compassion and teaching the children to be more loving and recognize that, that we need conflict resolution.
Lewis's solutions include working with partnerships involved in youth violence, including the volunteer program Dads in Schools, building a social media mentoring and safety app for troubled youth, and having conflict and trauma resolution training in schools.
The goal is to save other kids through Jonathan. And yeah, of course, I don't want anybody to ever have to suffer through this madness.
Thanks, Tiffany. We here at Chabot News send our deepest condolences to Jonathan Lewis Sr., his family, and to all those who are affected by the death of Jonathan Lewis Jr. Hopefully, Jonathan's passing will push legislative officials to take more preventative measures against acts of senseless violence. In Bay Area news, police were called to a San Leandro Unified School District board meeting on November 14th as hundreds of San Leandro High School students and teachers protested the dismissal of Dr. Ronald Richardson, who is the co-principal of the school, along with his twin brother, Reginald. The school district revealed on November 12th that Dr. Richardson would not return after being on leave following complaints of inappropriate conduct, inadequate response to student safety issues, and potential deletion of disciplinary records. During the meeting, students and staff expressed their anger for not being questioned during the investigation. Some even labeled it a smear campaign orchestrated by a disgruntled individual. By the end of the meeting, the board called the police and the district superintendent promised a statement about next steps in a future meeting to discuss Dr. Richardson's status. Driverless taxi company Cruise has halted its manual and supervised car trips in the U.S. as the company expands its probes into how it responded to the October 2nd crash that led to its suspension in California. While the California Department of Motorless Vehicles suspension prohibits Cruise from operating driverless taxis either for fair service or testing, the San Francisco-based company was still allowed to test its vehicles with the safety driver present. On November 8th, the company issued a software recall on all of its 950 autonomous vehicles to improve how they respond after collisions. We sent our reporters out to get the campus students' reactions to this news.
What I think about Cruise driverless cars leaving San Francisco, I have a mixed opinion on it. One, I do believe in technology, and I do believe in advancement of driverless automated driving. But at the same time, with I know it depends what method they're using, but at the same time, the technology is not there. If you see the recent news with Tesla cars about how they crash a lot, and not just that, there's not much experience with taxi automated driving, even if they have two different systems. I think the technology is not there yet, so I think it just needs a little bit more time before we start giving it out to the general public.
I think it would probably if I had to guess, put more businesses like cabs probably back on the map, because I know people, corporate greed is all about, trying to make more money. So I think leaving San Francisco would be beneficial to cab drivers and Uber and DoorDash. So I think it would be beneficial for that.
That's important. Automobiles leaving a city that desperately does need them. At the same time, people's cars have been getting broken into. Let's not forget, San Francisco kind of has a very high crime rate. You can leave your car for 2 seconds and all your stuff's gone.
I think it's a positive yet a negative, because I feel like it could do a lot of good, to help the people get around, but at the same time it's kind of dangerous because it's driverless. There's no people, one mistake, in the software can mean a person's life.
I think Cruise automated cars, obviously it's never going to be a real person behind the wheel, so everybody has their doubts and suspicions and fears regarding that, but I haven't heard too many cases in the news at all about them going wrong or about them going AWOL, so I mean, so long as it's not imposing a problem, then I think it's fine.
It's unknown when or if Cruise's robo-taxis will return to carrying passengers with no backup drivers, as they had been doing in recent months. In Santa Clara, California's Great America Winterfest has begun, with live entertainment, lights, sights, activities, festive foods, and much more. We sent our reporter, Alan Sampson, out to cover this event.
The Bay Area's most immersive holiday event returns this year, sparkling brighter than ever before. Open select nights November 24th through December 31st. Winterfest brings a holiday cheer to California's Great America as the park is magically transformed into a winter wonderland and holiday festival.
Like the character figurines, especially in Snoopy, because when we rode the rides, there was the characters in there.
Guests can ice skate in front of the iconic Carousel Columbia, take in the dazzling sights, and marvel at the spectacular live shows.
We are the Kringles, we're the king. Darling, don't you know that jingle reindeer through the frost.
Roller coasters are always included with the experience of fun.
I love the drop tower. Like you go up to the top and then it pauses for a few seconds and then you feel yourself like drop just a little bit. And then after that, you'll just drop all the way down for 5 seconds. And then I went twice. So it's kind of like you're skydiving, but not as bad.
With more than 60 rides and holiday attractions, Winterfest has something for guests of all ages and appetites. This enchanted wintry world and Christmas celebration is dominated by one of the Bay Area's tallest Christmas trees, adorned with thousands of twinkling lights.
It's very bright. It's pretty.
I like the lights because it illuminates into my eyes.
Oh, look at the lights. It's so colorful. It's very much into the Christmas spirit. You know, like it's a holiday right now. And it just feels like, you know, it's so warm and you want to be with your family. And it just brings out the spirit and the lights of, you know, Great America. It's so beautiful.
This amazing event features millions of lights, creating a Christmas event for the entire family. Purchase a cup for free refills and sip on crafted hot chocolate.
I like the free hot cocoa.
I love the free hot cocos because who doesn't love free stuff?
This is Alan Sampson reporting from Santa Clara, California for KCTH Channel 27 Chabot College News.
Winterfest lasts November 24th through December 31st. Enjoy unlimited visits and free parking to Winterfest this year and through 2024 with a Gold Pass. Now it's time to hand it over to India Richardson for this week's look at entertainment news.
Thanks, Jasmine. An iconic lasagna-loving cartoon cat returns to the big screen next summer. And Sony Pictures has just released the official trailer for the animated film. The Garfield movie features Chris Pratt as the voice of Garfield, and Samuel L. Jackson as Garfield's long-lost father, a scruffy street cat named Vic. Take a look.
Hi there, little buddy. You hungry, little guy? You want a little more?
And that's how I adopted John.
Okay, now have you ever been with a plate? Don't need a spatula.
No, please, no. Ow, it's so hot. Ow, it's really hurting. Ow, ow,
You deserve to be seen with somebody as fly.
Say when. Never, John. Bury me in cheese. I apologize in advance. The eating you're about to see will not be pretty. And if you have young children, this would be a good time for them to leave the room.
You ain't never seen nobody this
Hey, Junior, this is Vic, my father.
You ever jumped a train?
I've never jumped.
Here's that stop.
Really? Where?
Ooh, Odie, you think he'd see that coming?
Let's get it. I deserve to be with somebody as fly as me.
The Garfield movie is set to release in theaters on May 24th. Bill Murray was the voice of the famous cartoon cat in the first film's version, released in 2004. A verdict in the sexual assault trial of fashion icon Peter Nygard. On Sunday, November 19th, a Canadian jury found the 82-year-old guilty of 4 counts of sexual assault. 5 women accused him of attacking them over a 3-decade period from the 1980s to the mid-2000s. Nygard was acquitted of 1 count of sexual assault and 1 count of forcible confinement. An iconic lasagna-loving Nygard is also facing charges in the United States. And a federal indictment filed in 2020 accuses him of using his fashion business to conceal sex trafficking and other illegal activity. He is awaiting potential extradition to the U.S. to face those charges. Named Vic. That's going to wrap things up for this week's Look at Entertainment News. I'm India Richardson. Now, back to you, Jasmine.
Thanks, India. In local news, 3 upcoming holiday-oriented events are scheduled to support and celebrate the Hayward Animal Shelter and its mission of caring for, improving the lives of, and finding new homes for animals within the city of Hayward. The 11th annual SantaCon Hayward Pub Crawl is a fundraiser for the Hayward Animal Shelter and invites community members 21 years of age and older to join the boisterous procession starting at 4 p.m. Saturday, December 2nd at Working Dogs, 597 C Street. For more details and a list of SantaCon stops, visit SantaCon Hayward 2023 on their Facebook page or by email at santaconhayward@gmail.com. SantaCon Hayward proceeds will sponsor all adoptions at home for the holidays, the annual seasonal pet adoption event being held this year from noon to 3 p.m. Saturday, December 9th at the Hayward Animal Shelter, 16 Barnes Court, Hayward. Taking place simultaneously at the shelter will be photos with Santa Claus 2023, during which community members are invited to bring their furry, feathered, and scaly family members to have their photo taken with Mr. Claus himself. Donations to the shelter also can be made online on the City of Hayward website. The 2023 Hayward Police Department Cops for Kids Toy Drive fundraiser has begun. The toy drive helps to provide gifts and necessary items like clothing and school supplies to less fortunate families in Hayward. If you are interested in supporting this year's toy drive, there are now 4 ways to donate. The first way is to drop donations at Target in North Hayward, located at 19661 Hesperian Boulevard on Fridays and Saturdays between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., where members will be stationed. The second way is to drop donations at the Hayward Police Department stationed on 300 West Winton Ave. Thirdly, you can send money via Venmo at Hayward Police and type Toy Drive donation in the notes. And finally, the fourth way is to help out is to purchase items from the Hayward Police Department's Amazon wish list by visiting the link on your screen or by simply scanning the QR code. For more information, you can call 510-293-5051 or send an email to Hayward Police Toy Drive at hayward-ca.gov. This event is made possible through the generous donations the Hayward Police Department receives every year from the community, and they thank you for your support. The Eden Area ROP partnered with Chabot College on November 3rd to encourage local high school students to pursue advanced manufacturing degrees here at Chabot. Our reporter Evan Netto has more on the story.
November 3rd was Advanced Manufacturing Day. The Eden Area ROP partnered with Chabot College to showcase Chabot's advanced manufacturing programs to local high school students. After a quick opening speech, a panel of experts spoke about what high schoolers can hope to gain from advanced manufacturing programs, as well as why they should go to Chabot.
I remember sitting where y'all were sitting. So when I was a sophomore, I decided that I was going to drop out and get my GED, and I needed a clear path to go somewhere because I wanted to make some money. I mean, I was about my bag, just like y'all, right? Anybody else want to make money?
I will tell you right now, the number one talent gap are folks in the trades. Whether you're a machinist, whether you're part of a tool and die. By a raise of hands, how many of you folks know what a tool and die specialist is?
There was a quick lunch after the panel speeches, and then high schoolers were taken on tours of Chabot, specifically its engineering and manufacturing facilities. The tour was about half an hour long, and each stop featured an instructor who would explain more about their specific program. One such room was Chabot's welding facility. The instructor, Dave Vitrano, spoke to me about his program.
Chabot students graduating in welding can either get various certificates, stackable certificates, or an Associates of Science in welding to put them in a good position to either later get a bachelor's degree or move out into industry with that associate's. Welding can provide amongst the best career options you could hope for.
The last room we toured was Chabot's auto shop. Erich Basswerner, the automotive program coordinator, told me about what Chabot's automotive program has to offer.
What we do here is basically prepare students who are interested in taking these classes, whether it is to fix their own vehicles, right? And also we focus on teaching future technicians how to get the tools, the skills, and how to prepare themselves to gain employment in the industry as automotive technicians.
The tours marked the end of Advanced Manufacturing Day.
If you're interested in advanced manufacturing, then you should check out the Chabot website for more information about its programs. Now let's turn to sports news with our sportscaster, Greg Driscoll.
Thanks, India. A set of jerseys worn by soccer superstar Lionel Messi during last year's World Cup are expected to fetch a record high price. The 6 jerseys going on the auction block next week were worn by the Argentine captain during each stage of the month-long tournament. That includes the final against France, which Argentina won. Auction house Sotheby's expects the set to sell for more than $10 million, which would make it one of the most valuable collections of sports memorabilia at auction. The online auction for Messi's jerseys runs from November 30th to December 14th. Sotheby's says a Michael Jordan jersey from Game 1 of the 1998 NBA Finals from Jordan's famous Last Dance season is currently the record holder as most valuable sports item ever sold at auction. It sold last year for $10.1 million. Speaking about high-priced sports apparel, the number 1 jersey worn by San Antonio Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama during his first NBA game, the shirt was sold at auction for a record-breaking $762,000. According to Sotheby's auction house, the jersey was expected to sell for between $80,000 and $120,000. This is reportedly the most money paid for any NBA rookie debut jersey, and one of the highest amounts paid for a jersey in recent times. Chabot College hosted a wrestling invitational held right here on campus, just to name a few colleges, such as Santa Rosa and Sacramento City College were some of the teams competing in the invitational. We sent our reporter Jasmine Bester out to obtain coverage of the event Here's a closer look.
The Chabot College Wrestling Invitational was an all-day event held in the main gym. There were a total of 8 teams here competing and showing off their amazing skills. Here's an up-close and personal look at what some of the athletes and faculty had to say.
Some of my favorite wrestling moves are the cradle, the half Nelson. They're pretty easy moves to do, and it doesn't take a lot of time, I guess.
I like the difficulty of it. Like, it's a really tough sport, so it requires a lot of you.
It's 2 people out there, and they go mano-a-mano. This thing comes out on top.
These are some of the most hardworking people that I've met in my entire life. These people work so hard just to be able to put it out on the mat.
The Invitational was an overall success. It allowed the players to receive more experience and increased exposure. Reporting for Chabot TV.
Wrestling season ends in December for anyone who would like to see the next regional tournament. It will be held at Modesto College at 10 a.m. That's all we have for this week in sports news. I'm Greg Driscoll. Now back to you, Jasmine.
Thanks, Greg. It's time to take out those cranberries. Wednesday, November 22nd was National Cranberry Relish Day. If you're used to having cranberry sauce on your table, the relish version isn't that different. Instead of being cooked, it's used fresh cranberries blended in a food processor with sugar. You can also enhance the flavors with apples, oranges, pineapple, spices, or nuts. Don't worry about making too much. Cranberry relish lasts up to 2 weeks in the refrigerator and up to 3 months in the freezer. And for our final story, one Wisconsin woman is kicking off the holiday week by celebrating a milestone birthday. Meet Lydia Rachu. She celebrated her 107th birthday on Monday. She was born on November 20th, 1916, which happened to be during World War I. She spent the weekend celebrating the big day with her family and friends at a senior living facility in Wausau. And if you want to live as long as Lydia, her advice is simply, quote, just be yourself and live. Her family members says it's a blessing that she is still with them. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/Chabot TV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.